Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. Today, I have a big announcement. You ever have one of those days where you've been thinking about doing something, it's been stirring around in your head, and you haven't done it, but over a time period, you know it is inevitable that your decision will reach a certain point, and it all focuses on one certain day? That day is today for me. It's my second channel, daily vlog channel. It's TheDailyWoo. Alright, here goes. What lies inside this letter will change the path of my life. Once again, my life is going to be changing. You could go one direction to the left, one direction to the right, or one direction straight ahead. Everyone has a choice, and my choice is inside here. I've been standing outside the post office for about 10 or 15 minutes, contemplating this decision, and I just got to do it. I just got to insert it into the mail slot, and then the journey will be taking a different turn. Let's go. Oh wow, I love this little Jason Voorhees vinyl figure keychain thing. I love these drawings, especially the Who is Adam the Woo on the left. And also thank you for the Dark Crystal comic. My good friend Scott Yukin wrote me a letter, and he sent me a bunch of goodies from Japan, where he's been for, gosh, probably almost a year now. Thanks for everything, everyone. I really appreciate it. Not just what I got today, but what I've gotten in the past and over this entire journey on YouTube. Anybody that has ever sent anything, it really means a lot to me. I know it takes a lot to take time out of your day to either send something that you are passionate about or purchase something, to drive down to the post office, to stand in the line, to pay the postage. And I really completely appreciate it, and I'm humbled always by gifts that people have always sent. So thank you very much. I've never had Japanese candy before. Orangina. Those are pretty good.
Hey Adam, want to go to Disneyland?
Lots of happenings going on at Disneyland right now. It's a beehive of activity down there. I have not had Snapple apple, no joke, in probably a year. I'm pretty excited that the store had this. Let's have a chat right here on this bench. This bench that I have vlogged from numerous times in the Orange Circle. Let's have a chat. In February of 2015, I moved here to Orange, California, near Anaheim. And I did that after what I like to call full-time traveling across the country in my van. Sleeping in my van, traveling, cruising across coast to coast, filming vlogs and stuff for the TheDailyWoo channel. And even though I was staying in Florida at my parents' when I was in Florida, and I was staying at my sister's in Indiana, you know, for weeks at a time, 2 or 3 weeks, sometimes a month, the majority of those years I spent sleeping in the back of my van, traveling across the country, documenting things. And as things progressed, and as I started to enjoy stuff in California, I ended up moving into a place here in Orange County. And today, earlier in the vlog, you were probably wondering at the beginning of the morning of this vlog what I was doing, what I was putting in the envelope. And I'm here to announce I have given my 2-month, my 60-day notice to my landlord, and I will be moving out of the home that I have been living in for about a year, year and a half-ish. And I'm leaving California. I am moving out of California. I've decided against moving to Burbank and the likes of that. And I'm gonna take it back old school. I'm going to go back to traveling full-time at a far greater rate than I was doing even before I became, quote unquote, what's the word? Not institutionalized, I'm thinking of a Suicidal Tendencies song, but domesticated, that's the word I'm thinking of. Things are a little bit different now. I have more people in my corner. I have more supporters than ever than I had way back then. And all that really comes into play. It was so hard doing it back then. And it's gonna be hard to do it now, I'm not gonna lie. The reason I am doing this is there is an expression, familiarity, is that the word? Breeds contempt. And I am not in contempt with California. I do not despise California. In fact, I love California. But that phrase sort of makes sense for my situation, because I have noticed a pattern. When you are living somewhere and you get comfortable somewhere, comfort, and this is not a phrase that's been made up before, this is a phrase that I've made up in my own mind. Comfort almost hinders creativity. Now, this is not always true. There are creative people who live very comfortably, but you will notice most musicians and artists do their best work when they are under very disdained conditions, or conditions where they are not comfortable. And you know, think of a band's first album when they are flat broke and have no money, not a dime to their name, and have been through the ringer. That's when their most heartfelt songs are going to appear. So that's kind of what I'm meaning. The more comfortable an artist becomes, the less creative they are going to be. They're not going to stop being creative, but when they were doing 100% creativity, might be tailored down to 40% creativity and 30% creativity. And that's kind of what I've been thinking about a lot lately, a whole heck of a lot lately. And the cost of living in California now, especially now that I am living in a home all by myself, has swayed my decision making to take it back to the van and beyond the van. Now, what I'm going to be doing is in less than 2 months, at the end of June, there is a convention in Anaheim, California, near Disneyland by the name of VidCon. You can just Google it, find out what the dates are. It is the last weekend in June, just about 2 months from right now. That will be my last hurrah living in California. As soon as that is over, my home will be cleared out. I'm going to sell off everything that will not fit in my van, including my bed, my couches, the dressers, the couches, I've already said the couches, the tables. All of that stuff will be no more. I will be selling it either on Craigslist or on Facebook or giving it to my friends. All of that is just stuff. All of that is just meaningless. What is important is for me to get out and see the world, to do things, not just the US, but across the seas. There's so much. I'm almost 42 years old. On August 10th, I will be 42 years old. You only go around this crazy circle one time. And what's going to happen when I am older and I do not accomplish or have not done what I set out to do? I do not want that to be something when I am older and grayer, sitting on a porch talking with my very elderly friends that are my age at that point and say, I wish I would have gone there. I wish I would have done that. Now, I am in a very small percentage of the population percentile because I have no kids. I currently have no girlfriend. I'm not married. And now, as of this morning, I have put in my notice that in less than 2 months, in 60 days or less, I will also be quote unquote homeless. Now, this does not mean I will not have anywhere to stay. The agenda, what my game plan is, my sister lives in Indiana and I have talked to her and I am going to be renting a room at a very minor amount compared to what I've been paying, and that will be where I will be storing my personal items. You know, like George, my clown, some of the knickknacks and stuff people have sent me, things like that. Things that I can put in boxes and store in her guest bedroom. And I will be paying her rent, basically to have that as a storage unit and to stay there in case I want to come back from traveling and I would have like a home base to rest my weary head. Now, I'm pretty much assuming and guessing the way my mentality will be after this 2 months here in California, but the last 2 months that I will be living in California, I know the way my mind works. I will become so motivated. I will have tunnel vision like a bull in a china shop, and I am going to tackle more roadside attractions, abandoned places, filming locations, odd, weird ghost towns, anything and everything across the US than you can shake a proverbial stick at. If you thought I've done a lot of videos in the past and you have seen my work so far, you are in for a treat because I know how my mind works. And I'm not gonna look back. I'm not gonna look back. I'm excited. I'm very sad. I'm gonna be sad to be leaving. The house that I'm living in holds a lot of memories for me, sad memories. I was single for a very long time. I've been through a lot of relationships in my life. I've probably been through, I don't know, 10, maybe a dozen serious relationships. You know, those that when I'm older, I will look back on and say, you know, these were the key relationships in my life that meant something to me. And before this last relationship, when I was traveling, I promised myself that I would not get serious with anyone because I knew what I had to do. I had to film. I had to go out. I had to do what almost like my destiny was, like what I was being drawn to do, what I felt I needed to do. And I faltered on my promise to myself. And that relationship did not end. And now, it's crazy as you get older and you go through a lot of relationships that don't work. And then you give it one last try and then that does not work. You become very jaded, but not only jaded, you become very dedicated to other things. You know, some people focus a lot of their time on finding someone to be with, or, you know, finding someone, then eventually having a family and all that. And I must tell you, at this point in my life, that is not anything at all. 0% of I want anything to do with any of that. That is not going to hinder me now from doing what I need to do, which is create videos and travel and see things and do things and live life to the fullest extent, which is why I feel we are put here on this planet, and especially why I am put here, because I fail at a lot of different things. I'm a failure at a lot of different things. The one thing I am not a failure at is entertaining, and it is putting content into the world. Being passionate. I do not fail at being passionate about what I love and what I am putting out there. If I was filming something I was not passionate about, you would pick up on it and you would say, he's just doing this just to do something. And I think the key is for me to get back out there. I'm gonna say, you know, not 100% full time, but I'm gonna say traveling probably 10 months out of the year, and then the rest of the time maybe hanging out at my parents in Florida for a couple weeks, or hanging out in Indiana for a couple weeks. But I have so much stuff I want to accomplish and want to do. The sadness and the memories of what did not go the way I wanted it to go here, I have to put that all behind me. It was very hard when I was going to the post office today to drop off the letter to the landlord. I got a little misty-eyed, I got a little sad, because I had a different agenda a year and a half ago. I thought that I could live with roommates, and by paying rent split 3 or 4 ways, that I would be able to travel. I'd be able to be in a relationship and still be able to travel and do the videos and appease those who follow and support me every day, and still, you know, continue with the relationship correctly and continue with the roommate situation correctly. And before I could get to that point, all that ended. And after all that ended, I'm a very stubborn person, and I forced myself into trying to make it work. And as time went on, the more it was not working, the more I started to realize that I needed to take it back old school. I needed to take it back and do what I used to do. And that is what's going to happen. Now, over the next 2 months, I'm going to be here. I'll probably be going to Disneyland quite a bit, because I do have an annual pass, and I have to get my fill. I'll be going to Universal and Knott's. I do have a couple filming locations I'm going to do here before I leave. So the main channel videos, the vlogs are every day, so those are going to be uploaded every day. There will be no ending on that. The main channel video, the Adam the Woo channel, I have an abandoned video that I'm editing down, which is pretty awesome. A couple days from now, I'll upload that. And then I'll have a couple movie locations, maybe 1 or 2 other videos. It's going to be about normal, maybe a couple videos, 2 or 3 or 4 uploads before that 2-month period before I leave and I hit the road. And then the Adam the Woo channel is going to go from a content level like this. The content level, once I leave the state and start hitting the road in my van, is going to skyrocket. You are going to see an exorbitant amount of content. And here's the great thing. I switched the format of this vlog. This edited vlog that I am now doing used to be unedited for a very long time. And all this has been a test. Me going to Disney, me doing stuff in the house, me doing coffee, me putting my shoes on. All that has been a test for me to get used to editing every day and filming every day. Because when I hit the road, I am going to be out all day, every day, filming the craziest stuff, the weirdest stuff. So you have a lot to look forward to. This makes me smile, because the fact that I will not be doing unedited vlogs from one location, I will be putting 10 different things in one vlog as I'm out in some little small town in the middle of Nebraska, or if I'm in Iowa walking through a cornfield, I can edit all that down. If I'm at some historical place that no one has documented ever in vlog form, I can put all that in the vlog. It is an exciting time in my life, and in this whole YouTube phenomenon is incredible. So I'm super excited. I would be lying if I said I was not sad. I am very sad that I will be leaving. I will be coming back. I will be visiting. You know, not only being in the van, I've also thought that, you know, being at my sister's, she's only probably, you know, an hour, half hour from an airport. I was thinking about maybe just flying a bunch of places, and instead of flying round trip, like let's say I would fly from Indiana out here, I could fly from Indiana, a round trip out here and back. I could just fly from Indiana to Chicago to Seattle, one way, all one-way trips, get a cheap hotel, maybe meet up with a lot of people. I really want to meet so many people that watch my videos all across the country and across the world, stay with some people, sleep on some couches. Like I said at the beginning, take it back old school. That's what we're gonna do. There's not a lot of people doing this. There are a lot of people who, you know, live in their RVs or live in their cars and travel. There's not a lot of people who are documenting every day in a vlog format and doing it. So I think that it's gonna be great. I've been doing these vlogs for a very long, very, very long time. It's amazing to think that on July 1st will be the anniversary of these vlogs, which over 1,300 plus days in a row without missing an upload. And we've only just begun. We've only just begun. Okay, this vlog has gone on way too long. The announcement has been made. I will be leaving. I will be moving out of California. I will not be living in the homestead that I have called home for almost a year and a half. About 2 months, I will be leaving. And it's a solemn time, it's sad. And that flagpole is making quite the racket. All right, we have talked too much. I've said so much, yet I've said so little. Once I get the agenda of where I'm going to go, I will fill you all in with that. We should just end the vlog now. I've talked way too much. I can't believe I'm gonna be leaving here, but you gotta look forward to the future. You can't dwell in the past. You can't sit around wishing things would have worked out the way you wanted it to work out. And you have to know what your calling is. You have to know what your purpose in life is. And I know what I know what works. I know what works. I've done a lot of creative things, worked a lot of jobs, and out of everything I've ever done, you guys, all of this whole thing that I call the circle of goodness is the only thing that has been successful in my life, and that I am truly passionate and excited and wake up every single day longing to put something into the world that would make someone smile or make someone happy. And that's what I need to be doing. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye.